live now. Yeah. Is that gonna come in? Yeah, somebody had 3 viewers. Got 3 in so far. Do I have another person? How you doing, Lathan? Hello, Mopar. Oh, come on in here. See if we can solve the YouTube problems. Let's see. There we go. Learn how to operate this thing. Got 5 of us in here now. I'm trying to operate the cell phone and the computer at the same time. How's everybody's night been? Yeah, we're just trying to figure all this out. Going through the cell phone and then shooting it back to the computer. Trying to figure it all out. Lathan's the one that showed me how to do it. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, Lathan, I'll be waiting on you, buddy. Maybe we'll get some folks in here tonight. Hey, Beamer and son, how you doing, buddy? There's a link, baby. He wants to come up on here, talk. We're doing good, Beamer. We're doing pretty good. Just hot. You get that Mustang going, Beamer? You got that right. The dog days of summer, buddy. You got that right there. Yeah, it's hot. It's been hot here for the last 3 or 4 weeks. You can't hardly do anything outside. Man, it's just so hot. You can't hardly do anything outside. Yeah, I seen that in the video where you was putting a sending unit in it and working on the gas tank. At least them on the Mustangs ain't too bad. They could be on up between the axle and the frame like on the Thunderbirds was. At least on the Mustangs ain't too bad. Yeah, we gotta work on getting us a cam for these computers. A lot better than holding a cell phone. A lot better. Yeah, one thing about it is on brakes, you can still buy the wheel cylinder kits on the Mustangs, and You can get them off Rock Auto, a couple of dollars a piece. And then a mass cylinder, I think, on that thing is probably going to be about 20 something bucks. So you're probably looking about $60 for the brakes. Lathan's supposed to be coming back in here in a few minutes. We've been watching these views come in and watching it like a auction here last couple of days. And doing a short videos really help your view count. It gets them up there. A pretty live thing, pretty interesting. Trying to figure all this stuff out. One minute you have 1, 2 person here, and next minute you have 7, 8, 10, and then that back down to a couple of them. Or maybe it won't be too much longer. You'll be able to drive it now. I know one thing. I'd love to be up in that yard up there, shop up there. You got a little bit of delay. I got 8 watching. How you doing, Irish Outlaw? How you doing, buddy? Hello, that DRAB. Maybe we'll get some more in here. Remember now, we ain't gonna be able to make it this time. Maybe next year we will. Yeah, maybe next year. Not this. We hadn't got too much going on right now. Working on 3 cars at one time, and just got too much going on. And maybe next year we'll be able to make it. Hey, Buck.
There I am. Hello, how we doing?
Doing pretty good. You doing all right?
Yeah, just got home from work.
Man,
Yeah, I'm a second shifter.
I always hated second shift.
Yeah, I sort of like it. I get my stuff done in the mornings and then go to work and come home and listen to you guys.
I always hated second shift. I
Yeah,
like third shift.
a lot of people don't like second. I don't know.
I
Works for me.
always like the third shift, and then come home, work on my cars till about 2 o'clock, and then go to sleep, and then get back up about 6, 7, and go back to work. Yes, I didn't really care about the second, and I hate first shift because I hate mornings.
Oh no, I like I'm a morning guy. I like the mornings. I'm trying to
Yeah,
prop it here.
man, if I had a shop, man, I'd be out there in my shop at night instead of during the daytime because it's cooler.
Yeah. Well, I always worked first shift. So, and then when I got this job, I started out on third. I went back to first. Then I ended up on second. Now I like the second.
Oh yeah. Well, the second's got its good points and its bad points.
Right.
Most second shift jobs is you work on the weekends. Most time you're off during the week, and then when you're off during the week, ain't nothing going on.
Right. Well, that's what's happening to me now. Everybody's doing these lives during the week, and I don't get to go. I get to listen to them, but I don't get to join in.
Right, right,
Unless somebody's on later, like you are. So.
right. You had to let my phone charge up a little while.
Yeah, and I'm not used to using my phone. I always have my laptop. Is when I do my lives, I'm always on the laptop.
Right. Yeah, we got desktops, and we got a laptop. I guess I need to fix it where we can do it through the laptop instead of through the cell phone.
All right.
It just do it through this way. Lathan showed me how to do it this way. Go ahead and start the thing and then get the number and then post it and then go back in there and click it and it pops up on the screen. Man, I'm telling you, them short videos brings the viewers, buddy. Oh, where'd you go, Buck? Well, we lost Buck.
There I am.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the chat while I was on the thing here, and I was pushing buttons again.
That's what I've been doing, so I'm trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not used to on the phone here.
Right, I ain't either. I'm used to looking at my computer screen. Because on the computer screen, you can actually see. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, that's what I thought too. I should have another screen here, then I could see.
Yeah.
And say hi to anybody that says hi to me.
Right.
Unless I start, I might do that. I have a little mini iPad.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I got an iPad too.
Yeah, I have
that.
the YouTube app on the iPad.
Yeah, it's got a camera on it.
And it's
Yeah,
got a camera. Hey, I might be learning stuff here today.
You gonna do what now?
I might be learning stuff here today.
Yeah, me too. Oh,
You got all this stuff. I don't use it. There we go. There's YouTube.
we got a few coming in.
There's Tim. Hey, Tim.
Yeah, there's Tim. There's Beamer and Son. Irish Outlaw.
Irish Outlaw. Hey, Jay, what do you say?
He's in here. See if we can get some more in here. Try to work on it. See the thing, and it's kind of weird. Especially when you had to look up at the computer screen and not the camera.
Well, I want to thank you, Auto Salvage, for all the help you do and all the help you give everybody else too, and throwing my my channel out there and stuff. I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, anytime.
You know, this whole community is great. My girlfriend said it the other day. She said it's community, not competition.
That's exactly right.
I thought that was a good saying for what's going on with this No Name Nationals event. You know, it's definitely community. I mean, there's going to be competition on the track, of course, but as far as competition out here on the home front and the YouTube, everybody's trying to help everybody else. It's awesome.
Right, and everybody does things different in their own way.
Yeah,
you know that's what makes it different than most other channels. So you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I seen your, I was watching your videos and I was like, that's when I subscribed to you. Actually, before I met got on there one night with live chat, and then Bell Rose. I started watching his channel, and then I added him, and then I think I seen the first No Name off of your channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I might
helping somebody for a while now.
Yeah, I don't mind helping somebody get subs because if we all work together, it all helps one another. You see?
Right. Yep.
And like the way I look at it is. This is the way I look at it is I got 644 subs, and we probably share about 80 of those together. The rest of them, the way I look at it is, the rest of them could be your subs. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and even if it's only a partial part of that is, it's more than you wouldn't have, more than you had if you didn't if you wouldn't have done what you did.
Right.
If I said that right.
I picked up 12 subs off the short videos.
Yeah.
Not counting the watch hours.
Right. And those shorts, like Layton was saying the other night, he says he does the title and the description and the tags and everything else in it, and some do good, some don't, and it all depends on what the algorithm's looking for.
Right.
YouTube, they're not looking for an audience for your video. They're looking for a video for the audience that they have. And
right.
When I heard that, I had to write it down so I could remember it, because that's exactly it. That's why I said earlier, Novas are popular. When I do put something with a Nova up, man, I get a lot of hits.
Right. When I put that Nova on there, I was like, I like that fell out. I told my wife, I says, I would have never thought it.
Right. And another thing you got to remember too is all these videos that are doing well now, and then they flatten out, they could do better later on.
Right.
I had a couple shorts now that flattened out like 2,200, 1,800, and I just checked one today and it was up to 42 again, or 42 already. Right.
I've been going back on our previous videos and making shorts out of them, and then posting them. And I was like, I would have never thought short videos would bring that many views.
Yes.
I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, I have a video. I have a little short video that I did. I got like 36 views, right? I got
Right.
I got two subscribers out of that. I have another one with 2,700 views. I didn't get any.
Yes, you think,
So
you as you're watching me, like, how come I didn't get none off of that one? You see what I'm saying?
right,
But I guess it depends on the right person watching the video,
exactly. It's what they're looking for.
Right, right. On the right person watching the video.
Exactly. It's what. Yeah, hang on a minute. I got to get rid of my my speaker.
Hello, Busted Radio.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I got to get rid of my my speaker. Okay. Yeah, hang on a minute. I got to get rid. I didn't forget about you. I'm just trying to get rid of the back noise here.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing with mine. I had to turn mine off earlier because it was doing the same thing.
Right. Now I can't find the mute button.
Yeah, look, Belrose would explain it the other night in the room
I didn't forget
about the views and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to start making these shorts and I'm going to see what it does. Man, it blowed up, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm talking, it had blowed up. And I'm like, I told my wife, I said, when I can't get outside do that because it's too hot or it's raining, I said, I'm going to make short videos.
Right. And the shorts, at first, when I started doing them shorts, I didn't like them. At first, I didn't know how to do it because I was making. I knew I had 60 seconds, and I'm making this video, and it's stopping right away, and I'm wondering why. Here, I never hit that button to change it from 15 seconds to 60.
Right.
And then, and then one day, I found out that I could take videos and then turn them into shorts.
Right. I was like, when I put that logo on there, it belongs to my cousin, my wife's cousin. When I put that logo on there, it went skyrocketing. I like to have literally fell out of this chair. I was like, really? I just couldn't believe it. I was like, God.
Yeah, well, you don't know. That thing might come back and start fire back up again. I just saw that one guy with Dudes with Wrenches or something say he went back and he took them down for a little bit and then juiced them up and then put them back in. Put a different thumbnail in and switch the title around a little bit, and then they start getting hits again.
Yeah, I did that on two of them. One with the trick photography Mustang.
Okay.
The one, the gray Mustang, and the red Mustang at the end. I done it in 3 days.
I must have missed that one.
It's two different cars.
Right, but you had that one you rebuilt the car in 3 days.
Yeah, with the Magic Wand.
Yeah, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. That's what some of these YouTubers got, is that Magic Wand going on.
Hey, there's Bubba. Hi, Bubba.
Hey, Bubba, how you doing? Hey, we got a bunch of them in here now.
Yeah, 12. Hey, see, I got my little mini iPad running now.
It makes a difference, don't it?
Now I can see the chat.
Yeah.
On the phone, I can't see it.
Yeah, I had to turn around and look to see see them on here. Right. I can't see them on the phone.
Yeah, you're over there looking at the
computer screen.
Or that way.
So if you wonder what I'm doing when I turn around, I'm looking at the computer screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I got a bunch of them in here now. Since that live stream from StreamYard is different than the actual
There's
YouTube.
Destroyer. Hey, Destroyer. Yes, it is, but I think it's easier to use once you get used to it. I've only used the YouTube Live once, and then the YouTube Live, I don't think you can put another person in with you.
Right, I wonder. I think you can have two. I think.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I believe so.
I only used that once one night to try my phone out.
Yeah, I think you can have two in there. I'm not 100% sure. I was actually thinking about. Yeah, I think there's two more. It's like two more can go in. Yeah. Nathan's talking about it too.
Yeah, he's just talking about you can go down there and change the way you view it.
Yeah.
You see those little blocks there where the two guys are the same size.
Right.
Yeah. If you hit that one, then we'll have the same size pictures on the screen. That's what.
Oh, like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And then like that.
Right. That.
Or like that.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a lot better now.
Yeah, I don't feel so little.
Yeah. So you live up the East Coast?
Yeah, I live up in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I got kin folks all up the East Coast there.
Oh, do you? Where
at? There ain't no telling. My mom was from Rhode Island.
All right.
Around name that little town over there. I can't remember now. Mine went blank. But it's over close to the ocean, over in Rhode Island, somewhere up in there.
Yeah. The only one I ever think about is Newport, Rhode Island. I've been there once. And
Newport. That's where my mom. Yep, oh. Newport. Yep.
How about that? That's the only one I really can remember up there. You know, Providence is the state capital, but Newport is the only other one I ever remember.
Yep. I have never been there. Believe it or not, never been there. The farthest north I've been was to Delaware. I got a brother that still lives in Delaware.
Okay.
But I've never been past Delaware. I went to Ocean City up there, Maryland.
Right. Well, that's Delaware, Maryland. There at Ocean City. That all seems the same to me. I go there every year. I get down there every year.
Right. They used to have I'm talking about big car show at Ocean City every year.
Yeah, they still do.
They still got do it.
Yeah. They fill the whole boardwalk with cars.
Yep. It used to be the biggest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. And they still have the motorcycle show down there, and they have all kinds of stuff goes on there.
Holy cow.
Yeah, look at Bubba Air. It's 10 p.m. and it's still 100 degrees. My God. God bless you.
Oh, yeah, it's hot.
See you later, Beamer and Son.
Y'all take it easy, Beamer.
Yeah, it's not too bad here. I think it's might be 85 or something. It rained earlier, though.
That ain't too bad. That ain't too bad up north because you don't have the humidity.
Oh, we get humidity. It's 80 degrees in my garage here.
That's not too bad.
No. And I'm one that I like the heat, so I'd rather I get inside and it gets too cold in the air conditioning. I come outside in the heat.
Right. If it gets about 85, I'm all right with about 85. but it gets above about over 90, 95, and it gets hot down here. It's so hot. The humidity's up, buddy. Whoa.
Good night, Unfinished. Looks like Leighton might be wanting to get on here.
Let me see if we can get them on here. All three of us on here. Hold on just a second.
I'm holding. Please enjoy the music while we're on hold.
Oh.
I'm not going to sing.
All right, Lathan, click that link and see what it tells you. Let's see.
Insert music here. That's right, Rich. Just pretend you're in an elevator.
Yeah.
Dang, busted.
Lathan, can you hear me?
He's backstage.
Yeah.
Click your guest button.
I tell him I'm trying to find the guest button. Hold on.
He just said knock knock.
There's to click that link. There we go.
There we go.
There's Leighton.
Yeah, there we go.
What the buck, Leighton?
Yeah, what the buck?
Oh, Lord.
And so if you click your layout on that in the settings, you can change how we all look on the screen.
Yeah.
You can make me look prettier.
Oh. Like that?
That's going to take a lot of magic. There you
Yeah. Oh. So what everybody's working on today?
Well, I've got 4 aluminum intakes to build sitting right here.
Woo. Woo.
Cast on and no. So this cast is kicking my butt.
That's the life of a welder.
Yeah. Man, I welded on that frame on that 64 F100 a couple of weeks ago. That's the first time I ain't never really messed with a welder, so to speak, but I can take a cutting torch and I can cut your car in half in about 5 seconds. I got to hold that welder and welded up the back of the frame because it had a split spot in the frame. And I was like, so my buddy, I said, hey, they're too bad. He said, I thought you didn't know how to weld. I said, that's the first time I ever welded. He said, no. He said, you know how to weld. I said, no, that's the first time I ever welded.
On cracks and splits like that, find the end of the crack, take a drill and drill a hole at each end, then weld it up. Because if you just weld, sometimes it's bad about re-cracking and it'll spread more, but if you drill that hole at the end of the crack, it'll never spread.
Oh.
Drill the holes and weld it all right back up.
Yep.
Oh.
Done that.
Yeah, somebody welded the plate, probably been on there since the 80s or 70s probably. His grandfather bought this truck back in the late 60s, and he started using it to pull his plow in the fields with. And that's the only thing he did with a truck was pull his plows. And the truck's got like 28,000 original miles on it.
Been a rough 28.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, him and his daddy took the motor out last couple years back, and rebuilt the motor and the transmission in it, and then they took it to a body shop, and he had it for like a couple years, and he made a mess of it. I'm talking about he's made a mess of it. I had to go back and fix the floor pans instead of tacking the pans in like he's supposed to. He just went around and just welded all the way around it. Oh, it was a mess. It was a mess. I had to go back in and fix it the best way I could without cutting the floors out again. Yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess.
Oh, we lost. Oh no, did we lose him? Yeah, we lost him. Well, I'll tell you what, Auto Salvage, I'm going to head out. I had a couple things to do before I go to bed. I just wanted to stop on and thank you for your help, and I'll get on your first or second live. I think it's your second live now, isn't it?
Yes, our second one now.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to get a camcorder, then don't have to worry about holding this telephone.
Yeah. Well, I used the camera on my laptop. Oh, you can get a webcam too.
Right.
Because the one webcam my girlfriend got me, it was like $35 or something off of Amazon. And
that's not bad.
And that works really well. I mean, you just plug the USB port in there, but then when you get on the StreamYard, you got to go into settings and then pick the camera, and then make sure you pick the mic you're going to use too, which is the one on the laptop. And then, and then you can set that webcam right on top of your laptop, looking straight at you.
Right, instead of having to constantly turn around and look at the screen.
then you're looking at the screen, at the camera at the same time. And then also what I do with that webcam is you can put it on a tripod too.
Right.
And lift it up even higher if you had to.
Yeah, we got a tripod right here somewhere. I got to find it.
Yeah, just something to think about.
Yep.
I've been trying to I'm just trying to do with what I have for now, and then later on maybe I'll buy some more stuff. But hey, there's Shop Cat.
Yep.
I have to check. I don't know if I'm sub to Busted Radio Garage. But I'll check when I get done here.
Yeah, that's a good channel right there.
I think I think you asked me to sub to him a while back.
Yeah, I've been watching since the Power Tour.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they came probably about 25 miles from me, and I work 2 days a week. The other days I work here at the house. And the 2 days I scheduled myself to work was the Power Tour was coming through.
Okay.
I was like, man, I told my wife, I said, I need to reschedule this day where I can go over there. But I didn't get a chance to do it, so I was like, golly. So I started watching them on YouTube.
Yeah. No, I'm not subscribed.
Yeah, he got some good content.
I am now, though. Live, let's hang out. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll check all that stuff out as I go along. I get so many people, and then, when I do the lives, I always try to go through the channels that I'm going to be reviewing. So I look at their videos and stuff. So at least I have some kind of idea what I'm talking about.
Right. It's hard to go in there with not knowing nothing.
Well, I did that, and it is tougher. At least if I go in and watch a few videos, and I usually spend like 10, 15 minutes a channel and go looking around, poking around.
Right. It really, once you go watch them and look at the video or the channel, then you really know what's really going on. And it
Right, 'cause
really,
I'm always afraid that I'm going to open up a video and then it'll open up to a bad spot or a dead spot or something like that. And
right.
I'm trying to help them, not hurt them.
Right.
So that's why I do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got what, 351, I think?
Yeah,
360?
I think I hit 351. I was at 352 today. Then I was down to 347. Now I'm back up to 351 again. So
Yeah,
it's the same old, same old.
yeah, you get some, drop some, get some, drop some, get some, drop
Right.
some. So yeah, you'll get there. It just takes a little time to get. Once you get that past that 500 mark, they say it's not that bad, but to me, it's like starting all over again.
Is it? Well, I just had a good run there. Just 3 days ago, I only had 300. So
Right.
I think it was Saturday night on the live. I just got 300.
Right.
And then now today it's 351. So that ain't too bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
I had a lot of help from all you guys.
Yep.
Thank you so much to everybody that subscribed.
Oh yeah. I want to see that Buick in action.
Yeah. There it is.
Hey, that's a good little cars right there, buddy.
Oh, it's it's in really good shape. I mean, there's a couple little rust holes, but my problem is I'm too chicken to go drive it on the road without a license on it. Yeah, years ago I would have been out there by now burning rubber and stuff, but
yeah, I'm the same way.
I don't want that. I don't want that ticket and that hassle, really.
Right.
I have to look at it as how important is it? It's it's not that important.
Right.
Just like John Wilburn said, there'll be people going down the track at 20 miles an hour, and there'll be people going down there at 120 or 150 or whatever.
Right.
So
I myself would go down that track as fast as that car would get me down that track.
You got to give her the beans.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta blow the sun out of them.
Yes. Yeah, and that's one thing I didn't get to do with this car yet. So soon. That's what
right.
that's what I'm working on now, is trying to get everything together so that when the title does come in, when and if I feel confident that I won't have no troubles there.
Right.
Then I'll get tags for it and take her on her maiden voyage. I have to put the front bumper on and hood latch and stuff in yet, and then I got to go through all the lights.
Yeah, so it takes some time to go through one. It's just like our little 76 F100. It's set up since '93.
Yeah.
And oh man, the wiring harness on it was boogered up. So I've been splicing here and splicing there to get the wiring harness fixed.
The last time this was inspected was 5 of 2003.
Oh wow!
When it ran out, so that's almost 20 years ago.
Yep. So one thing about them Buicks like that right there, everything off of a Nova,
right,
interchange.
Yes, and Camaros, 67, 69 on the rear end, and then second gen Camaros for the front end.
Right.
Too, and then all the Nova too.
Yep.
So, but those cars just aren't in the junkyard anymore.
No, they're not. Most of them went to the crusher.
Yeah, exactly. So, I have some friends that still do the roundy round racing, and they all ran the Novas and stuff. So I want to reach out to them guys, see if anybody has a posi rear I can get off them for a half decent price.
Right.
If I can get a 373 would be great, but that's probably next to impossible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can buy one for thousands of bucks, but Hell, I want to spend 150.
That's right. You'd be better off finding you a Ford Explorer, get the rear end out of it.
Well, yeah, I can get one of them, but then I have all that extra work to do. I would rather, at this point in the game, I'd rather get one that bolts right in.
Right.
Hey, there's Irish Outlaw.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's over here hiding.
Yep. Just hanging out. Had a little time. Thought I'd say hi. I got.
Well, I'm gonna walk outside a minute while I smoke me a cigarette.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go. So I guess Irish got the floor.
Yeah. I got a little bit of time. I got to get up early in the morning again. One more time. I'm going back to hauling freight. I'm done with this construction shit. Don't pay me quick enough. I need parts.
Oh, don't tell me you had a bad day like I had.
Oh, yeah, it's been one of them days. Got the motor in that ambulance. Man, I got it in there by myself, on the rocks, on the dirt, with a side-by-side and my engine hoist. I got it right in there, just pulling the car forward by hand and putting it in there.
Wow.
And, of course, I get underneath there to put the bolts in, the old-school Pontiac motor mounts, the ones that lay flat, and you put a bolt through them. And goddamn motor sitting on the cross member.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to shim it up because I had to put a different pan on it, aftermarket pan, and it's deeper.
Oh.
And I can buy one that's flatter, but they want, it's just for the big cars, and they want like $200 and some for it. So no, I'll massage it with a hammer and put shims under it. I don't care. I ain't dealing with it. But I mean, it went in there. I was so happy. Amber was outside. I was so happy. This son of a bitch went right in. I can't believe it. We're going to be starting this thing tomorrow, and then epic failure. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then I found out that my fenders were sitting high after I got the motor down in it. They look like they're sitting high off that, that iconic bumper. And I took the fenders and went like this, and it went down about a half an inch. I was like, oh, shit. So I got to figure out something for the core support. I'm going to have to rig up something to hold it down because there is no core supports out there for these cars. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I'm like the worst welder in the world, so it's going to be sheet metal screws and strips of metal.
Hey, well, I'm going to go, fellas. You guys have a great night. It was,
all right, bud. Glad you come by.
Nice being
see you, man.
With you, and we'll be back. Let me see if I can figure.
There he goes.
Are you having to do it all by yourself?
What's that? Motor?
Putting the motor and stuff in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Same way I always do it. Completely white trash as hell. And I've done it so many times out here. Literally every car except for 2 that I have. All my cars except for 2. I've put the motor in right out here in this driveway on the rock and grass. And I got it all on video so everybody can see how I do it. But I'll use the side-by-side to pull it backwards, and then I put pieces of metal out, and I run my engine hoist out on that metal, and then I'll position the car, and we'll push it forward and little bit, and I'll go down, and the last little bit, I just grab a hold of the core support, and I'll start pulling forward and putting her down, and it'll slide down in there.
Right. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Man, my driveway, we live on a hill, and my front drive's off of a main highway out here. So it's like a 70-degree angle from the road up. So you're like, if you take off on a bicycle, you better have brakes, because not you're going to land over in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Our driveway is beside the house. It goes to the back drive. Well, that's where I work on my cars at, because that's the only flat spot is in the yard.
Yeah, there ain't a flat spot in my damn yard. It's all downhill. And I've put them in, motors in with a chain hoist off a tree. That's the old school way. I've done it with a buddy brought his. I had a buddy that needed a motor in his car. We did it like a block from downtown Effingham, Illinois, right in the middle of the street. We just pushed it out there because his driveway was like this. I'm like, just put her out in the damn street. So we put it
Right.
out in the street, and both my engine hoists I have are foldable. So I threw it in the back of the pickup and went to his house. We swapped the motor out right in the middle of downtown, damn near. And
I've been there.
like out here, it's just the way I got to do it. I got that garage that you see in the videos, but nothing can fit through that door. A
Right.
Jeep barely fits, and it won't clear anything. And this big ass Pontiac, it ain't going in that door.
No, no.
And that's the second. Technically not a big block, but that's the second, we'll just say, big ass heavy GM engine that I've done out here, and it's a pain in the butt. But to move the engine hoist, I'll take a damn big pry bar I got and I'll put it underneath the handle of the wheel, and I'll push it like that until it gets where I need it, and then
That's how I put my motor in my truck. Buddy mine, he come over. Brother-in-law did, and a buddy mine come over, and we put a piece of plywood underneath the engine hoist. It took pry bars and pushed it.
Yep.
Oh, it was rough.
I seen guys that got their shops. I was talking to who the hell was I talking to about that the other day? I was talking to what's his name from Junkyard Digs. Ever since Power Tour, me and him chat back and forth all the time. And I was telling him, he goes, "You gonna put that ambulance? You put in the motor?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "So you haul that car like to a shop or something and do that?" I said, "Hell no, do it right there in the damn driveway." In the rocks? Yeah, in the rocks. He couldn't believe it. He thought that was just the craziest thing. I said, "You damn millennials. You don't."
I had an '83 Fox body Mustang when I was early teenager, and a transmission went out in it at where I worked at a gas station. Well, that night I took my car out there because it still had first gear, and all night long I'd go out there and put my transmission in.
Yep. That's
You gotta do.
I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot easier to put a motor and trans in together out here in this shit than it is to take a transmission out and put it back in.
Well, I'll give you.
I had to do that in our Malibu, and that was a pain because trying to get the jack to move to hold the trans up and trying to push it, and then every time you give her a little bit too much, it fall off the jack.
Well, I'll give you some advice on that. It makes putting a transmission in easy. Get you some all thread the same size as your boats, and cut you about 5 or 6 inches off. Screw that all thread in your motor on each side, on both sides. Yeah. You got to put your transmission in, put it on that all thread, and all you got to do is push the transmission forward.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I've done similar to that. I'll use bigger bolts than what was supposed to be. I could just get them up in there and tighten them.
Right. It makes it a lot simpler than having to fight with them.
Yep. It's a total fight every time I want to do it. How you can see the first video of me pulling the motor out of that car. Get side by side, up, side by side, up, side by side. It's a bear. It would have been great because I'm not kidding, man. I had it in there in 5-10 minutes. Motor was down. I thought it was down underneath, and crawl underneath there and look up, and it's sitting on the damn cross member. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh man!
So I'm just gonna buy some. I've got some metal around here, but I'm just gonna go buy a little sheet of that 3/8 or whatever. Right. And I'm just gonna trim her off and drill a hole in it and stick it up in there. I read some forums, and that's what everybody does. So because you can't find those pans for those big cars. You can if they want hundreds of dollars for them, and I'll just shim it. If I have to, I'll shim the fan if it's hitting the shroud.
Right. or like you said earlier, take core support and always cut the top out of it and move it
Yep.
out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We've done
Well,
we've done that before.
the core support's already crap. So what I'll do is I'll just fix it up to where it matches the fan, and then I'll just
Right.
straighten it out so nothing gets tore up.
Yeah, me and a buddy of mine took a '88 Ford Ranger. This is back years ago, and before they even made a engine kit that you could just swap it over to a V8, we made our own,
Yep.
and we wound up putting a V8 in a little Ranger pickup truck, and that thing was a bad boy. I'm talking, it was a bad boy.
My
And then,
I had a buddy that did that. That was before all the fancy,
look,
adapters and stuff.
right,
And
right,
I did the same thing. My first car was a 66 Mustang, and I had that, a 79 CJ7, and then the one I terrorized with was an 83 Mustang GT. And I blew the motor up 2 months after I bought it. It was an old cop car in Texas.
right.
And I got it home, and my dad's like, "Well, now you done it." I said, "Yeah." And I got on, what the hell was the name of that? There was a little magazine that you could buy stuff, and you buy it, and it was great big fold out. And there was a guy that had a 460. I actually put a 460 in that Fox body, and you're talking 1980, well, 90, 90
Oh
or
wow,
91. There was no
there was
I
no
mean,
kit.
there was nothing for those cars. This is before
No,
everybody realized how fast they are,
right.
and or what you could do with them. They didn't have all the fancy stuff, and I put that in there and had had a C4 behind it. And after I finally got a buddy of mine at the local shop that I got here in town that does all my crankshafts and stuff, he actually remachined a T5 Borg Warner, the ones that came in the GTs. He remachined the damn bell housing to fit, so I put the 5-speed back in it, and then
Oh,
I ripped out about, I don't know, 5 rear ends. I finally upgraded it to a 9-inch, and then I started to break the body in half, because that thing,
cool.
that's a lot of motor for that little car. Like I said, I had makeshift. My cousin owns a welding shop, and we kind of made some frame connectors, but
Right.
it had a sunroof in it. And I was at the local track in Charleston, Illinois, and I hit so hard at the line that I shattered the
Sunroof.
sunroof in it. And it
Ooh.
was an aftermarket one, so I mean, I ended up selling it, and a guy restored the car and sold it to his cousin, and then he rolled it or something. I don't know. I took the
Oh,
motor
man.
out of it first, though. I sold the motor, but I
Yeah,
built a 302 and just stuck it in there so it had something to run.
right. Yeah, we like the 460s. That's
Yeah.
actually why I was gonna put in my 76, but around here 460s or 429s like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah. I've actually got a 69 429 Thunderjet out in the garage. Came out of
Whoa,
a 69 Thunderbird.
wow.
It's one of the old school true ones too, the power steering pumps behind your bottom pulley, your crank pulley. Yeah,
Right,
old
right.
school valve covers, powered by Ford, all that shit.
Oh
And
yeah, that's the best setup that you can have right there.
yeah, found it at a junkyard. The guy gave it to me. He's like,
Oh,
just get it out. I was like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll put that in the
yeah.
garage. Ran the numbers, and at first I thought it was a 460. Then I pulled the pan, and it's
And then you knew
429.
that.
Yep. But I might do something with it sometime. Uh, Now, like, as far as Fords go, I got that Ranchero that I'm working on, and the only thing I'm going to do left to it is fix a couple rust holes and put a different. I'm gonna put a new oil pump in it because the oil pump's bad. I knew it was bad when I put it all back up in there, but I just want to see if it would run. You know, if I could get it running the way it was to prove a point. And I sent the video to the guy I bought it from, and the only thing he sent me back was, "Are you shitting me?" I said, "No." I sent him the burnout, and he hold on a second. Dog's barking like hell.
Uh-oh.
Nah, she shut up. I'm a good yeller. She listens when you yell. Typical female. Dog, female dog.
Oh. Hey,
But
they
no,
make the good watchdog, buddy.
you what?
I said they make the best watchdogs.
Yeah, she rides in my semi with me every day.
Uh-oh.
Yep. But no,
Yeah, I seen you. I
I've
seen
got
your
that.
little ranchero.
Yeah, it's 351 modified, and the guy sold it to me. He said, yeah, the guy said it had a gouged crank, his mechanic. I said, gouged crank? I've never heard that. I've been doing this since I was 10 years old, and with my dad before that, I've never heard anyone say gouged. I've heard scarred, scored, scratched, beat to
Right.
shit. I've heard all kinds of stuff. So
Right.
I didn't realize that he had the main cap and a rod cap sitting in a box in the back of it. It had the bearings in them and everything. He only took 2 off. I was like, well, how can you tell it's bad by that? So I didn't see it. My youngest, Zeppelin, he found it. And he's like, Dad, look, and I picked him up and I cleaned him up. I was like, it just looks like it's got 117,000 miles on it. That's what the odometer says.
Right.
So I found the oil pump and I pulled it apart. And on those pumps on those modifieds, and most like a 460, it's got that like a star that runs in the center of another, it goes on that gear. I can't remember what it's called. My brain's not functioning correctly, but anyway, I pulled that all apart and there was scoring all around the inside of that, where your clearance would be.
Right.
And so I just put it on my damn bench grinder wire wheel and cleaned it up and filled her full of STP and stuck it back in there. I just want to see what it'll do. Well, the motor is fine. Cold, she's running 45 to 60 PSI oil. I was like, well, damn, I had 1540 in it. And then I thought, boy, if I'd have just waited and put a new oil pump in this thing, I think I might have been having a little bit better. Because when it gets warm, it gets down to about 10. But
Right.
it was under 1,000. So, I mean, 10 pounds per 1,000. So I'm like, so I ordered me I really don't like using these, but because of the age of the engine, I just decided I'd get the whatever you call it, the high flow, not the high
Right.
pressure, the high flow. And I'm gonna stick that in there because I can go out there right now and just fire it off and take off.
Right.
It runs great. Sounds
But
good.
what-
It's got a real healthy cam in it. It sounds
what-
like an old Fireball cam is what it sounds like.
But when it warms up, the pressure
Yeah.
starts to fall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when it warms up. But if you
Yeah.
give it the gas and get her RPMs up, she'll come up to about 30 and she'll stay there. So I mean, it's there. It's not making any noise. So I'm just going to throw a new oil pump in it and
And let it ride.
see what it does.
Right.
And then they had the electric fans on it, which if you've ever watched my videos, I am not a fan. of
I'm
electric fans.
not a fan of electric
And-
fans whatsoever.
People forget, like on Power Tour, every single car that broke down was
Had
fuel
electric
boil
fans.
or overheat, because the electric fans would overheat and they'd fry, and it would also destroy the alternator because the alternator is just giving it everything it's got to keep those fans going.
Right.
And I told one guy, you need to put your other fan back. Oh, no, they told me the electric. I said, well, whatever. I said, you do realize that, and I try to tell people, you do realize that the fan on the front of the motor, all that air, it's not just cooling the coolant going through the radiator. It's pushing all the heat off of the motor.
Right.
You know, and if you're sitting there sitting still and you ain't blowing air, you know, if it ain't got air going through it, of course the damn thing's going to overheat. If you're going around in circles in the track, it's great. If you got a newer engine that was designed for it, it's great. I just don't. I mean, some people have good luck with them. I don't. And I put the original fan. Well, it's not the original; it's aftermarket. But as soon as I put that on there, crank that sucker over. I was sitting on underneath the hood, and I used my, you know, one-man switch, and I hit it. And as soon as that thing fired off, my hat blew off my head. And I was like, "See, now there we go."
Yep. There you go. Yeah, I'm not a fan of electric fan either.
I'll lose the 3 to 5 horsepower. I don't care.
Yeah, it just.
I'm already going to get really awful fuel mileage, so I really don't care.
No. I'd rather lose 3 to 5 horsepower knowing I'm gonna get there is be on the side of the road.
Well, I had one guy, I was walking up to his car, and he had a 67 Impala, I think, big block Impala. And he was sitting there getting ready to stick a carburetor spacer on it. And I said, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He goes, "Well, I'm having trouble with fuel boil, and the thing's wanting to overheat. I'm pretty sure it's fuel boil." And I said, "Well, what's it doing?" He says, "It'll die, and then it won't start, and you can hear the carb bubbling. You know, you can hear it. You can hear it if you put your ear in there." And he had to, had to have the perfect engine, the perfect look. He had metal fuel line coming from the fuel pump. He had a real, mechanical fuel pump. But if your head's right here, he had that fuel line perfect on that head going back. And I said, "Well, dude, you need to loosen that line and you need to move it out a little bit or bend it out. And then next time we stop at this, stop at an O'Reilly's or something and get you some of that DEI wrap. Or that, they make that big long sheet that you can cut up for like spark plug wires or whatever the hell." I said, "Put that on there and it'll stop." I said, "You don't need that damn spacer on there. It ain't going to make shit's bit of difference." Nope. And he says, "Well, what do I do about the overheating?" And I looked, and he had an original radiator, old school radiator with one digital fan on it, one electric fan. And I said, "Do you have your old fan with you?" And he says, "Yeah, it's in the back." Why? And I said, "Put it back on." "Well, I don't have a fan shroud." I said, "Trust me, still put it back on."
Right.
And I said, you can use the electric. I'm leaving the electric fans on that, because I'm just going to put them on a switch on the ground, and I can put them on if it starts getting hot.
Right.
But like that, I had people asking me to, did you change the damn Javelin over to electric fans? I said, "No, I'll put aluminum radiator in it, but it's got the stock mechanic. There's no clutch, nothing, man. It's just
a regular fan.
That damn 304 never overheated once. Traffic, nothing. Just stayed cool."
Yep.
And I mean, there was one time we was coming into Birmingham. There's a pretty good hill that we were stuck on, and we had to climb up. And when I did that, it got up to like 220. But that's the hottest it ever got, and it was 150,000 degrees in the shade on that trip. It was hot as hell.
Oh, I imagine. When y'all get to Pelham, I'm about 30 miles from Pelham.
I got a camper in Pelham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I own part of a camper that's at where they have the that motorcycle rally. God dang it, what's it called? Down on the farm? Bikes on the farm? Down on the farm? Yeah.
Yeah.
I own half a camper that's on that property.
Holy cow.
Never been there, but my buddies all go there.
Holy cow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm about, I say 30 miles. It might be about 35. But
yeah.
I could probably get there probably less than that because I know all the shortcuts.
Yeah. The
The mountain
You
you're
go ahead.
talking about is called Double Oak Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate going to Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, the car did fine. It just got up that. It kind of freaked me out. But there's a lot of people pulled over on that hill because they couldn't make it up because we was getting stopped.
Right.
And it got kind of rough. But yeah, I've actually never been to Pelham. The only thing that I noticed taking the back roads going south out of Nashville, there is a shit ton of peacocks out there. Who the hell let out all the peacocks? I was sitting in line at the stop sign and I just hear, ah! I was like, what the hell? And I turn and there's a peacock out by the highway.
That's the Amish country.
Really?
Yep, that's Amish country up there.
But it's just like there was hundreds of them. I said, I could not believe it. I mean, my kids were like, what the hell are those? They're peacocks. But, yeah. Hey,
So
what's going on?
Did you make it all through the power tour?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had right front wheel bearings go out on me as I was getting off the interstate in Memphis. And that was a whole situation going to an auto zone at 10 o'clock at night when I'm getting guarded by a guy with a M4, bunch of Glocks. That was fun.
Yeah, I bet that was fun.
And then I got that fixed, and then I woke up the next morning and I went to take it for a test drive before I popped the kids in there and stuff and went to the venue. And starter bendix stuck out. So another guy took me to the O'Reilly's, got a starter and a fuel pump because I was like, you know what? If you've got a fuel pump, I'm getting it right now. Because I'm already on this. And then I made it the whole trip without an issue until we got 10 miles south of Atlanta Motor Speedway and the left bearing started going out.
Oh, man.
So we made it, though. And then as I was leaving, I got to an O'Reilly's. I bought some grease. I bought the bearings. And I had an extra seal because AutoZone had two, so I just went ahead and grabbed them.
Right.
And I went to a gas station, filled her up, backed in the corner, and right there at the gas station south of Atlanta, changed the bearings, and then we made it all the way to Dalton, Georgia before we shut down.
Holy cow.
And then Nashville, again, we went to Cooters. My boy wanted to go to Cooters, so we went there and then headed her home up the Pennyrile through the Southern Illinois up back to home.
Holy cow.
I mean, really, I never got stranded. I could have made it further on those bearings. I was just like, you know what? It's daylight. I'm going to do it now.
Right.
And, I didn't want to do it at the O'Reilly's. They had a little bitty parking lot. I was like, I'm not going to have people driving through here like maniacs coming out of that venue.
Right.
You know, so, yeah, that was all I had, man. That car, great. Averaged 13 to 15 miles a gallon, loaded down with kids and crap. So,
that's not bad for a V8.
I come back. I left with 60-some thousand miles total on that car, and I got back with like 62. It was 1,983 miles from right out here, all the whole trip, and back home.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I started it up the next morning after we got home to go get the kids donuts, and it coughed and spit and sputtered. It was like, hey, man, I thought you was going to let me sleep for a little while. Didn't happen.
Yeah, there was a lot of them on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah. There was a bunch, and it was all fuel boil or freaking overheat.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. I had a couple of people I helped in the parking lots. Hell, even when we were in Atlanta, Derek Berry's, he was letting people drive some of his vehicles, for this power tour.
Right.
And though he had borrowed his buddy his Suburban, and that thing was fuel boiling. And he was sitting there in Atlanta at the DEI booth, and he grabbed some of that stuff and he crawled up in there and did it. It's in one of his videos. I was standing right there. Every time Jessica come by with a camera, I'd back the hell out of there. I didn't want to be on there. But I was standing right there talking to him. And he says, yeah, I'm going to put this on here. It's starting to get fuel boil, and it's not getting any cooler. So, but
Holy cow.
yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot of cars broke down. But the crazy thing is, I know of there was 4 AMCs that I personally knew the people. It was me and a Javelin. It was Austin from Blue Core Racing was in that AMX, that black AMX.
Right.
Another guy from two guys from up north. The one was the yellow one that you saw that got hit by a dump truck. I know
Right.
those guys too, and they made it. There was another car. He's not a YouTube guy. He's not
One of
Facebook,
them drove.
the other one.
One of them that drove. One of them wore like a straw hat or like a cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's Blue Core. That's Austin.
Yeah.
Had the Budweiser looking hat, the red, white, and
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah.
That's Blue Core Racing. He drove a 79 AMX. It's the 304 4-speed car. Looks like a pile of shit, but they're fun to drive.
Oh yeah.
And then there was the guys from up north of me, 2 actually. There was another guy that just goes all over the country in his Hornet. And
Right.
then it was Kevin Brown. Junkyard Diggs was in a goddamn Concorde.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I seen it.
he messaged me. I said, "Where are you at?" And he says, "I'm on my way." And I thought he was in a pickup or something. No, hell no. He bought a $1,500 AMC Concorde. And the only car that I know that the air worked.
Yeah.
But
He was riding
all-
around with air conditioner, right? Everybody
Yeah.
else had to turn the air conditioner off.
But yeah, the AMCs. I mean, other than my little bearing thing, but it didn't leave me stranded. It wasn't like it was, that
Right.
big a deal. But they all did fine. It was all the fancy ones that were broke down.
Breaking down. Yep.
Rat rods didn't break down either. Rat rods just flew. Them things, I felt so bad for some of them guys. They're right behind a big block Chevy. It's like right here. And going down the
Ooh.
road. Oh, there was one of them we stopped, and he's sitting there with towels on him and had a cooler in the back blowing air on him and all that kind of shit. I was like, man.
Holy cow.
Oh, hey, Buff.
Hey, Buff's in here and
And
JB
JB.
Little Shop.
No
Man.
Name Nationals car AMC next year, huh? Well, if you need parts, I searched the country and got them. I probably have them. I had to get steering knuckles out of friggin' Oregon.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you don't just go buying parts for an AMC.
No.
Almost as bad as this damn Pontiac. This thing, son of a
That's like
bitch.
that's like my 76 Model 4 truck. It's got all the options that the 76, half of them didn't even come with the options. It's got the power steering with a power steering cooler. It's got AC. It's got front disc brakes, power brakes. And you try to find the radiator hoses for it. It took me almost a year to find the bottom radiator hose. And then it took me about 6 months to be able to get a booster for it.
Yeah. Well,
I was
my
like-
Javelin, I put one of those bendables on the bottom
Right.
radiator hose because, hey, you can buy them cheap ass eBay colored ones, but yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. It'll work till you get down to the stop sign.
Yeah. Pretty much. But yeah, this Pontiac so far, I've ordered oh man, I had to fabricate brake parts for the front. I had to basically fabricate a floor.
Oh,
There wasn't
Lord.
nothing left of that floor. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to get these things have a carrier bearing on them. When they extend it out, they put a carrier in it. Well, guess what? The carrier they used and the drive shaft they used is from a 1-year 63 Buick or Cadillac.
Right.
So the people that have them know that they're 1 year for a Buick or a Cadillac. If you talk to
Right.
Buick guys, if it's for the Buick, if you look it up for a Buick, it's $160. If you look it up for the Cadillac, it's $290, somewhere around there, and they want your damn core.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm gonna wait a couple weeks because obviously I got motor trouble because I can't get the thing to. It's sitting too low, but
If you do some, if you get on Google and do some Google searching.
I did.
Uh,
I actually I called all the Pontiac, the main Pontiac, like Butler, Ames. I called them all, and all of them were like, "Yeah, you ain't gonna." I don't know what to tell. I mean, when Butler's telling you, "Yeah, you ain't gonna find that," that's
right.
just great.
If you look
Really?
around, somewhere around is going to be a place that rebuilds starters and stuff like that. Most of the time, they rebuild other stuff also, and
Yeah.
you can carry it in and they rebuild it for you.
Yep. The main thing that goes bad on those, what I found is the rubber, the insulator on that bearing. It goes bad. It was
Yep.
toast when I got it. You know, they sit and they go bad. But I had
Right.
like I know I was watching Buff's video where he's putting disc brakes on the front of that Grand Prix. Well, the front end and brakes on this Bonneville are 2 years, 68 and 69, and it's drum brakes. So I had to fabricate the auto adjusting, basically the little
The
pin
adjuster.
hook. I had to take it from a 69 C10 and I had to heat it up and rebend it, cut part of it off. And I took one of the old ones that were kind of rotted and I got it on there and I got it perfect and it worked. And then like you couldn't find the spring kit there. It was so, and
Some of that stuff's hard to get a hold of now.
one company makes a disc brake kit for that car and it's $900 and they will not guarantee that it will fit
Oh,
perfectly. And I'm like, no, she's drum brakes. I
yeah.
ain't,
Yeah.
I ain't, uh, there, this car is an absolute, it's probably the hardest car that I've ever tried to,
Get
you know,
parts
I
for.
don't refinish or redo. I just get them on the road. And this
Right.
thing has been a just nightmare.
A pain.
It, I've had Pontiacs, Trans Ams, you know, GTOs. I've had Le Mans. I've had all kinds of them. Boom, 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 easy, easy. You know, A bodies and E bodies, all that stuff. F bodies. Ain't trouble. I get the B body.
And
No,
you got problems.
yeah,
Yep.
I got problems
That's like
because
that. That's like that Corvair turbo car I got out here. It belongs to our son-in-law. That's just like it. I ordered the engine kit before this COVID started, and that's been what, a little over 2 years ago. I'm still waiting on it. And I went up to my buddy at his little parts house, and he's like, "Well, I'm still waiting." He said, "Maybe they'll get one in here soon." I said, "Maybe so." He said, "I know it's been over 2 years." I said, "Yep." I said, "I know it's hard to get them."
well, like I got all kinds of hell about the way I did the floor in that car, and I still got to edit the rear part. I haven't got that one out yet. I've been kind of behind with work, but I actually ordered a full floor for that car. I
Right.
ordered a full floor for this car before I was even involved in No Name Nationals. Paid for it. It was like
And,
$700 and some dollars.
right.
I
And you
ain't
still
seen
ain't
it.
got it.
Company says back order, back order, back order.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
well, okay, well, I ain't got time to wait for back order. I got to get this thing done now.
Right.
And the other part that I just got, I called the company. I'm looking for anybody that's got them because you know how the 60s B bodies or A bodies have that insulator on their transmission cross member. They sit like this, and it just sits under two covers, and it holds that transmission in there. Well, this one has the same thing, but they're different. They're big square blocks.
Right.
And this company, I called everybody. No, we're out. No, December, January, February, maybe. So I called this company and I said, man, this is what it is. And I told him the car, and he recognized the car from YouTube. I guess he's a subscriber to my channel. I said, yeah. I said, I really need these insulators like bad, because you can't, the way the frame is, you can't just add a cross member. It's a box frame. So I'm like, do you have any way to get me some of them? And he goes, hold on a second. He's looking in his computer or whatever, and he says, it don't show we have any, but you know what? Give me 15 minutes. I'll call you back. 15, 20 minutes later, he calls back. He says, Jay, I got them. What's your address? I said, you're kidding me. He goes, yeah, they were up in the shelf back behind a bunch of stuff. And he found the actual rubber insulator. And they had the covers, the metal cover that goes over that bolts them to the frame. He had those. And he says, I'm sending it all to you. He says, you pay the shipping.
Holy cow.
So he basically gave them to me. They usually sell for about $90 for the whole setup. But he gave it, I think it was like $15 shipping or something like that. I got real lucky. But he don't want me to mention it's a family-owned business. And he don't want me to mention, and he's like one of the family, and he don't want me to mention who it was, because he's like, my family will goddamn kill me. I said, all right. He said, well, it wasn't in the computer, so I'm sending it. So yeah, I got lucky there, but I still gotta add a piece of steel on the end of the cross member because it rusted off. But I'm just gonna take it to my neighbor. He's got a welding shop. I'm just gonna have him weld it up real nice, and that way I can get that in there. But you know, it's the thing is just, of course, you got to figure where it came from. I mean, I was literally in my boots. There's still a stain on my muck boots from where we were out waiting to get to this car. So I mean, it was pretty bad, but I got wheels and tires on it now. The motor's in it. I just got to lift it up, put the shims under it. It's just pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. Like,
yeah, I seen the video the other day when you went and got it.
Oh, did you watch the one where we pulled it up on the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, I bet that was a fun one to get up there.
How we did that, you can't really see it, is we took on that log hauler that I can't remember what they're called, but it's got a great big ass, like a 2-inch, cable that grabs logs and yanks them out of the woods. And we actually put that down on the trailer. I unhooked from my truck. We put it down on the trailer, lifted it up, and put blocks underneath it to hold the trailer up against it like this. And then we ran that out to the car with a railroad tie under it and drug that son of a bitch up on that trailer, and then hooked it back up and then dropped it on the truck.
Holy cow.
It was, I got more video of that, more pictures of it. I mean, you can see the pictures too. I can't believe that that thing sat since 1983, right where it was.
Holy cow.
And I got it home and I got it loose and I actually had it running. I have video of me and Amber driving that thing to the back of the property and back up here. And what happened was I couldn't get the manifold, was so rusted I couldn't get the manifold bolts out. So I decided I'll just take the whole head off. I'll just put new, I wasn't going to rebuild the whole engine. I took that intake off and goddamn camshaft had rust pits in it. I was like, no, I ain't taking that kind of chance. So I pulled the motor, and that was my first video I ever did, was rebuilding that 400.
Yeah,
and it's still a little sketchy, but it had a piston in it that had a lot of pitting in it, but I just let it eat. It'll run. It's got new everything from the crank to the top except for the pistons. I even had to redo a set of 4X heads to put on it because the 16s were cracked. So,
oh man.
It's been a process, and if I can get it to No Name Nationals, I'll be happy.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet.
I probably won't be able to drive it there because I don't think I'll be able to get the plates and stuff done quick enough. But we'll trailer queen him down there and let everybody see it and
Oh yeah, definitely.
drive it around a little bit. And I'm definitely going to bring Blanche. Ranchero's coming down, and probably it'll be Artemis, Blanche, and then the Javelin. I'll probably bring the Javelin down so everybody can see it because, I mean,
Oh,
nobody gets to see those very often. They're not around very
yeah.
much. So,
Oh, you don't see them around here either. They are very scarce to find. Very. I love to have. I love to find me a javelin and do a javelin, but finding one of them is like finding a needle in a haystack. If you do find it, they want $20,000 for one that's
yeah.
a roof bucket.
Well, I've in all the videos on that damn car because that thing was a pain in the ass too. Is just finding parts for it. You know, that's where you run into problems with them. Well, and the end of me trying to find everything, especially for that rear end that was bad, and this local shop screwed up. They, I got a hold of a guy that's only about 35 minutes from me. He has eight.
Right.
He has 8 javelins, and
Wow.
he wants to sell them all to me, like cheap. And if I can find a property to put them on, I'm grabbing them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I got to
Something
go
like,
up and look at them some, but
something like,
there's 3
something
of
like
them are
that is what I
4-speed
hold on
cars.
to.
3 of them are 4-speed cars. One of them a 401 car,
Yeah, well,
and yeah, he used to race them. This guy used to race them, and he just wants to get rid of them all. They're just taking up space in his yard. And I said, well, let me find a yard to put them in because I constantly get people back and forth or report me for my vehicles. I had a guy today. My stepson called me and said, oh, there's a guy out here taking pictures up and down the road. Okay. So what I
yeah,
have to do is I call ahead into the city police or the county police and I say, hey, there's some guy out here taking pictures of my damn yard, I guess, and scaring the hell out of my kids. They don't know who he is. He's just taking pictures. That
right,
way, whenever they go to the county and say, oh, this guy's got so many cars. Oh, you're the guy that was just randomly taking pictures in his yard.
right,
Because the first thing I ask is my son, I said, did he come in the property? Because I got cameras everywhere. I said, did he
right,
come in the property? He goes, no, he didn't come in the property. I said, okay. I said, then he can, I can't really do nothing, but at least, but we're getting a real big, a buddy of mine that does derbies and he also junks cars in a town close to me. Somebody raised hell about all his cars and he's got a security fence. He's got a privacy fence. They're
right.
bitching about the cars behind the privacy fence. Well, guess what? The county's making him get rid of all the cars
Yeah,
behind a privacy fence, But here, evidently, one of my hot rods is more of an eyesore than a blue tarp over the hot rod. So if I go out there and put on cars that I don't have licensed and insured, if I go put one of them shitty blue tarps from Menards over it, it's fine. So
that's crazy.
I got a whole stack of blue tarps. So if the cops come, I go, all right, and I'll just open them up and put them back over the car. But I've only got 3 that are not licensed and insured. The rest of them are. So,
Yeah,
but
well,
usually they'll come here and want to ask me about the cars. They don't care. They just
yeah,
say, well, I got to report it,
our little town's not too bad. If you get more than 7, 8 cars in your yard, then you probably pose a trouble of getting in trouble with them. But most times you go outside the city limits and do whatever you want to then.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just, I don't know. There's a Karen in every block. Let's
Yep,
just say that. Most of the
yep,
times, though, it ain't nobody around here. My niece lives over here. She don't care. She likes the cars. Her dad
right,
was a motorhead. My brother-in-law. Guy over
right,
here is a metalhead guitar player, which I play metal bands. I play in metal bands, so he don't care. He likes the
right,
cars. My neighbor don't
right,
care. I help him with his boats up at his boat shop once in a while. So
right,
it's like nobody cares around here. It's usually some asswipe that's coming down the highway and goes, "Oh my God, look at
Yep,
that trash in that yard." Trash.
yep, that's
Oh, one of
it.
my cars is worth about as much as that damn SUV you're driving.
That's it. That's exactly right.
But I mean, I can understand if you got them piled up and there's shit growing all around them and all. No, my cars are all sitting in a line out here. You can go out to each one of them, put the key in, start it, and take off. You
Right,
know, but
right. Yeah, you got
yeah,
some people just ride around just do stuff like that, and it's
yeah.
because they ain't got nothing else better to do but to cause you trouble.
No, it's usually somebody who just ain't, yeah, like you said, they ain't got nothing better to do, and it turns into. But they'll also be the one at the car show when you got the real fancy, pretty one over here. Then my piece of crap Cutlass, they'll be like, "Oh my God," you
Right,
know.
right.
But then 5 minutes later, they'll be like, "So what color are you going to paint it?" And I usually say, "Rust."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
I sprayed some rust fix on it. It's supposed to fix it, right? So it should like grow extra part of the fender and paint itself.
Yeah,
Rust fix.
that's right. That's right.
But that's my everyday. I got a 72 Cutlass. That's my everyday driver. But I've
Oh
been
man,
driving that Javelin a lot though. That it's just a fun car to drive. You know,
yeah, they are
neat little car. It's like a Mustang pony car. It's short wheelbase and
right.
attention
They're right.
getter. You know.
Yeah, they fun little cars to get around in.
Yep. Yeah, that actually is the only car that I have that is this winter. Uh, Actually, my neighbor's dad, my brother-in-law, he's owns one of the best body shops here. He's getting it. That is going to be the only car that's going to get it. At least a decent restore to where it's. I don't have sheet metal screws in the in the floor. Like
Right.
actually put a floor in it, put fenders on it, quarters. You know, just I just want to make it a nice car, and I'll probably keep it in in a garage or in a shop. I
Yeah.
think they only
Yeah.
made like 24,000 or 27,000 of those cars. That was its final year, and it's kind of a rare one. It's a console shift base model with a
Oh
304
yeah.
automatic. So
It's gonna be a rare. It's gonna be really
it's
rare.
yeah, it's they didn't make a lot of them. So I'm gonna actually have it done, and I'm not gonna put the fake AMX shit all over it. It's just gonna be a Javelin. I do have a fairing for it, a rear fairing, and I'm gonna have
Right.
it put on, but it's not gonna have anything. I'm not changing anything. Same color it is now, everything.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just a fun car. It was
Oh
a
yeah,
good
they
one, and
are.
the buddy of mine that had it was he's an ex-marine. Well, he's never really an ex-marine. He's a marine, and he loved the car, and he finally let me have it to put it on the road. I Every day we was in power tour, I'd message him, hey, car's doing good, because it was kind of his baby, and he just couldn't get to it anymore.
Right.
So
Yeah, they're getting hard to get a hold of, even down here, and you can't find them. If you do, you're gonna spend $20,000 on one that don't even run.
yeah,
Oh,
I know where there's a yellow Hornet here in town, and I've been trying to talk them out of that thing. No, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that, and it's got a little bit more rust every freaking year. So because AMC's, if you don't catch them, they will rust to the ground in a hurry,
yeah, they sure
like
will.
huge hurry.
I was talking to my brother-in-law last night about rust problems in the late, especially in the late '60s, early '70s,
Right?
and Dodge was one of the worstest ones, rusting in the back trunk,
Yeah.
and then Chevrolet was the worst is on the quarter panels, and of course the Fords was worse about the floorboards rusting out.
Yeah, mine, the inner fender wells, there's just one big line of rust. That whole fender well in there is rusted out.
Right.
It's I painted it black so you really couldn't see it. If somebody wanted to be really picky and start looking through my car, I thought, well, I'll go ahead and paint it black so it don't look so hideous. So I
Right.
painted it all black up underneath that fender well, and them fenders ain't cheap. Those
No, they're
things with
not.
that hump in them, God, they're huge.
We got
So you got
about,
to pay the shipping on them's a bastard.
I've got about, let's see, about $2,900 in our 76 F100, the yellow one. And I'm nowhere close to being able to drive it down the highway.
Really?
And I thought about selling that, so I put it up for sale. The old guy come by and looked at it. He said, "It's got this rust. You're gonna have to replace the floor pan on the driver's side." I said, "Yeah, I know that. That's I told you that." And he said, "Well, I don't think I want to give that much for it." I said, and then he started picking this and picking that. I said, "I tell you what, the dealership's right down the highway here, about 5 miles on the right down there." And I said, "Ford place down there, they will sell you a brand new one for $100-something."
I had that happen. I don't
don't
sell
want
my
to.
shit no more because of that.
Yeah,
I do have 2 vehicles out here that a buddy of mine once lives down the street, and I might sell them to him, but I really don't want to.
right,
But I flat out told him I got a '82 Bronco. It's a Lariat model, 351 auto. Needs a lot of work, but it runs, drives. Got a soft top on it that I put on it. That's $800 right there.
right.
And I've got that one, and I've got an '84 D100 short bed. That's
Oh,
a slant 6 4-speed. And he asked me what I wanted for him, and I said I overdid it. I said something like $3,000 for the Bronco, and I said like $2,000 for the truck, which it's not worth $2,000. And he
right.
goes, "How about I give you 500 for the truck and 1,000 for the Bronco?" And I said, "Well, you better get on Facebook and go find you somebody else." I
That's
said,
right.
because it's not that I'm not going to get to these, because I will. Everything I have out here, I get to.
That's
I've already
right.
worked. I've already worked on that D100. I got it running. It didn't run when I got it, and
Right.
I got it running. And all I have to do to that thing is put a exhaust uh, manifold donut gasket on it, a
Right.
$35 Amazon carburetor, and new brakes, wheels, and tires, and that it's ready for the road.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not. It's rusty, but it runs and drives. Go
Right.
ahead and look up one of them short bed D100s. It's like an F100 short bed or a
Yeah. You
a
can't
C10
find them.
short. You ain't
You
gonna
can't
find them.
find them. No.
And this truck is actually, I've known this truck the entire time it's been off the showroom. A guy in town here was a world record land speed record holder. It was his
Right.
personal truck. That's why I grabbed it. I was like, "Oh, I know that guy, you know." And
Yeah.
it's Jim Lang. He did it in a Studebaker Avante, and nobody could ever beat it. So he finally retired it, retired the record, so somebody else could start a new one. He built it in a
Oh.
little shop right up the road from my house here. I've known him my whole life, and what I was going to do is for content, I was going to take that truck and I was going to get it on the road, and I was going to go to his house. I know where he lives. I was going
Right.
to go to his house and say, "Hey, man, remember this?" Because my brother-in-law had the exact truck, and I love that truck. I'm not a Dodge guy at all, but
Right.
it was just a cool old truck. Any of them old, the quote-unquote square body trucks, the Chevy, the Ford, the Dodge, they all
Short
look good.
wheelbase. Yeah.
It's night and day difference now from the new ones.
Oh
I
yeah.
just don't like new trucks at all.
I don't. I don't. I don't.
And
I don't like the new ones. After there's some in the '90s, I wouldn't even give $1 for.
hmm yeah,
And these
I
new ones, nah.
yeah, I like my old cars. I've got a '03 Power Stroke, my dually. I use it to haul cars around, or I got a fifth wheel camper. I've got sneezes. Um, but other than that, everything I drive is the newest I have is, well, I got an '86 CJ7. Well, I guess we got an 89 Wrangler now too. That's going to be my son's. Waiting for title work on it, but
I don't know how they do titles up there, but here now you can send them off, and you'll have it back about 2 weeks in the mailbox.
Illinois takes forever. They take forever, and then you add in the fact that half the time I get vehicles without titles.
Right.
So I was doing the Vermont trick years ago.
Right.
Years ago, I just didn't tell anybody about it. Now everybody seems to put a video. Well, sooner or later, all these other states are going to catch on and say, "Hey, we're not accepting a certificate from Vermont. You're going to have an actual title." Well, Vermont don't give titles for old cars; they give a registration.
Right.
But so I wish they wouldn't put that on the internet. I just kind of ran across it one day. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll try that, and I'll be damned." It worked.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
Well, see here, anything older than 85, you don't have to have a title.
yeah, that sounds about right.
It used to be, if it was a 76 up this year, you'd have to have a title, but they redone it a couple years back, and a lot of people still think that you still got to have a title for the early 80 models, and I'm like, oh no. And we went and brought one a couple years back in Camaro that didn't have a title, and then the guy said, "Well, I can send off for a lost title." I said, "That's all. I'll take care of it." And then I didn't even have to have a title.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know it.
we can't do that here. The only thing you can do in Illinois is get that damn insurance bonded title, and that takes forever. And
Yep.
it's not worth it. I've done the thing where I've got a buddy that's legally a rebuilder, and he can do it for me. And you have to have it DOT'd, but then you get a rebuild sticker on it.
Right.
You know, which classic cars, I don't give a shit. You know, people ain't gonna care as long as the thing runs down the road. I'm not selling my stuff anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, luckily everything I got out here has a title.
Right.
Well, except for the ambulance, but I've got a couple different bills of sale, and I've got all kinds of stuff. I just got to send it in. But my God, do they think those Bonnevilles are worth a lot of money? Because you got to go buy NADA, you know.
Oh
and it
yeah.
says they're worth like freaking $8,000, and so it's $700 just to get the damn
Tag.
all the tags and shit done.
Right.
But in the end, you know, it's worth it. The car is so rare, it's worth it. So
Right.
the old man I got it from, and his house burnt down that it was in. The title was in, so and it wasn't in his name. It was still in the old boy that bought it from a little town south of me. It was their coroner's car, their fireman ambulance coroner. Yeah. It was originally orange. The car was orange.
Yeah.
Like a fire department thing.
Right.
And the guy that bought it from Iuka, he sanded it all down and painted it this powder blue or whatever the hell it's.
Yeah.
But you can see it if you see it, you can open the door and there's orange still down inside that door.
Yeah, we went and brought my wife a SUV a couple months back, and I thought, well, it ain't gonna be that much for the tag, and there's almost $300 something for a tag. And I got back home looking at the paperwork. We give $5,000 under the value of it. And they got us paying taxes on the whole value of it, of what the blue
shit.
is. Yeah. I was like, holy cow.
Well, I just licensed my Ranchero. Got the title work done on it last week. With Illinois, I even got the antique. We have what's called extended antique. That allows you to drive it, you know, through the summer months, spring, fall, summer. And then you can drive it to the gas station and back, or to the parts store or something like that. You can't just go driving it all around.
Right.
And if you get the regular antique, all you can do is drive it to and from car shows.
Right.
That ain't me. So I went up there, and it was $523 to do the
Holy,
title, tax, and an extended antique vanity plate, because I got my first one for Irish Outlaw Garage. I got IOG 76, the
right.
76 Hero, but then after that, my extended antiques are only $68 a year. Once you get past that initial beating,
Right.
then it ain't bad, because my old lady's car, we got a Jeep Trailhawk. It's almost $200 a year for the plate.
Holy cow.
It's 160 some dollars. And then like our trailer fee for like car trailers and my trailer that I keep all my band equipment in and crap, it was like 210.
That's crazy.
This is our wonderful shithead from Chicago that runs this state. He decided to raise all that up because that's how they're going to get rid of how broke we are. And it didn't work. Everybody went and got the weight plates like I got on my semi-trailer out there.
Right.
You pay one time of $19 and the plate's good. You don't have to change it. It's just it's a huge weight plate, but now they've stomped on that too, where you can't do that. Cops of the state police will pull you over and give you a ticket for that because it's not the right plate for the type of trailer you have.
That's crazy.
But I don't mind the cops and all that shit, but our state police, they're a buddy of mine got a DOT infraction ticket for low windshield washer fluid. It was like $300. And
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus criminy.
I know they're cracking down on people that's using off-road diesel here because it's cheaper than the other diesel.
Yeah.
And they pulling them over right and left. I'm like, I feel sorry for these people.
Yep. It's what was it? 3 weeks. I got a fuel bill today. 3 weeks. $7,023.
Golly.
Yeah. That's why tomorrow is my last day on construction. I started to do it, and I can't. It is killing me because I make less than I would if I was I go to Chicago and back every day with freight. It's 9-10 hour day, whatever. Don't bother me, but I'm just sick and tired of Chicago. I hate Chicago. I don't want nothing to do with it. So Thursday I go back to haul and back for Chicago because $7,000 fuel, man. It took damn near my whole paycheck. I don't get a paycheck. I get a settlement because I'm an owner operator.
Right.
I just can't do it. I don't see fuel going down. Maybe $1 if depends on who's in office. But maybe $1 because now you've got everybody. Fuel companies and stuff. They're going to be used to this $5.75, $6 a gallon. They ain't gonna let it go down. No,
they're gonna keep on price gouging people.
Yeah. And then everybody's gonna wonder, hey, how come my milk's $12 a gallon like it is in Hawaii? Well,
we went to the grocery store the other day. My wife went in the grocery store, and she's gonna get some butter. It's $4 for a small pack of butter.
Yep.
I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah. Where was I at the other day? I did say, damn gas station. I want to get me just a bag of chips. Just a bag of chips. That's all I was going to do. Maybe a hot dog or something. Goddamn bag of Ruffles chips. $5.55 just for one of the normal little bags. I was like, you know what? I'll freaking starve to death. Because I ain't paying no damn $6 for a bag of crispy potatoes.
No, I went to the store here a couple nights ago, and got us 2 candy bars and 2 small bags of chips and 2 drinks, and it was like $14. And I was thinking to myself, "Oh, I won't be doing this no more."
No,
I was
that's like I got all my cars full of gas out here, like before it really went up. So if we get low on gas or something, and old lady's waiting for her check, or I'm waiting for my settlement, just pick a damn car. You can drive that one. That one's full. That one's half tank. That one's quarter tank. I'll go down the list. Just grab a damn set of keys and go. But
yeah, it's crazy, man. The prices on food is just it's unreal.
yeah, it
Oh,
is. I don't see anything slowing down on it.
No, I don't either. It's going when it falls, it's going to be worse in 2006 when 2007 when the market fell.
That's the problem. If they drop everything, if everything goes back down, let's say new person in office, if you want to call it, we vote, because I don't really think we get anything out of it, but that's a whole nother story. But
Right.
Let's say Joe Blow gets in office, Biden's gone, everything just boom, fuel, everything starts going down. The economy is going to go.
Yeah, it's going.
It'll hit the bottom, and it'll take forever for it to climb back up.
Yep.
So it's going to have to be gradual. It's going to hurt for about 10 years.
Yep.
But by then, with inflation, fuel, I think I read somewhere fuel's supposed to be, if it was where it's supposed to be for the times, it should be right around like $2.40 a gallon.
Yep.
$2.40 or $2.50 a gallon. If it gets back down there, but it's going to have to be gradual, because if it don't, we're going to be hurting even worse.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we'll get through it. We can get through it, but doesn't help when people are saying, "Oh, shut the hell up and go buy an electric car." Really?
I'm not buying one.
What about the people out in the middle of Wyoming?
Right.
Just pull buy electric cars so they can get from town and back, and it's 200 miles.
Yeah.
And then where the hell's the electric charging station at?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, by the way, you can thank coal for charging you.
Yeah, because that's what's charging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be buying no electric car.
I like Teslas, the first runs of them. I rode around with one. There was one on Power Tour that was pretty cool. And he was down to earth guy, just regular old dude. He wasn't, like you would see, the stereotypical electric car driver.
Right.
He was just a normal dude. He's like, you know what? I thought I'd take this to see how it does. It was his wife's car. I was like, okay. Things are fast, though. I think I said on a live the other night, there was one on Sick Week that was running 8s and 9s. A quarter mile. That's that bitch to fly.
Yeah, that's moving. That's
they need to make it. But the problem is they need to make some kind of fake sound out of a speaker or something on that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because it don't.
All you heard was the fan going.
Yeah.
But I need to get myself cleaned up for bed. I'm still covered in Pontiac.
Uh-oh.
I got to be up at like 4:30, and one last day of hauling rock, and then I sit on my ass in the air conditioning all day, every day.
Oh man.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
hate
get
that
back.
part.
I gotta get back out and get started on some of these cars out here.
Yeah,
It's so hot, man.
I just got to do the ambulance and the Ranchero. That's it. Everything else can wait. There's some winter jobs out there. I don't mind working on them out there when it's cold. That's what Carhartt's for,
Right.
So, but when it's super ass hot and I'm running through rags and extra shirts trying to keep crap out of my eyes, that's when it's
really bad. Then
it's too damn hot. And I got air conditioning in my garage though, so everything I do in there, I shut the doors. The air conditioning's on.
Right.
I'm getting old and just lazy about it. My dad used to say, "What you got air conditioning in your damn garage for? What the hell is this shit?" And I said, "Well, we have, you big pansy ass and stuff like that. I was like, hey, you may have worked in a garage with no air, but welcome to 2018, 19, whatever. We can have
Yeah,
air in the garage.
that's right. Nowadays, you get. I don't believe it's ever got this hot back in the day. I don't
Oh, no.
remember.
No. No. And it never got this damn cold in the winter where I'm at.
No.
It is getting ridiculous around here.
Yeah,
It's
even down
colder
here.
here than it is in Chicago.
Yep,
And
even down here in the wintertime, it's colder now than what it was. It's 5 years ago.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely colder.
Yep.
That's that. I guess that's that global warming.
Yeah, that's that global warming.
Yeah. That's that's the reason, it's raining so much, and that's the reason it's
Right.
105 below in the winter. And that's the reason they got snow in Las Vegas, right? Global
Right.
warming.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Another whole nother story for a different day.
Yeah.
But-
There we go.
But I better get off of here, man. It was good talking to
Yeah.
you.
Good talking to you too, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, man.
All right, boy. Y'all be good.
See you, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Yep. Everybody have a good night. Good night, bud. Let's see who else is in here. And we had a good bit of few people coming in.